Is this thing on? Oh, okay. Hey guys, and welcome back, and today we will be learning about pendulums. So, have you ever heard of a pendulum? I bet you have. Of course, you've heard of the scientific way, but this way is the magic way. This is my pendulum. See? It's pretty much just a device that we magic users use, but a lot of other people, like natural healers and stuff, use them to answer yes or no questions. But it can also answer maybe, rephrase, stuff like that. But anyways, so today we're going to be learning about those. If you're thinking about buying a pendulum, it's very important about buying a pendulum that is right for you. Now, you can't just go into a store and see a pendulum and be like, oh, I'm going to buy it. Nope, you can't do that. Number one, first, you have to look at its appearance. Does it appeal to you? In shape, color, size, stuff like that. But also, you want to know what you're going to be asking your pendulum, because depending on size, from this handy dandy little chart that I got with my dad's pendulum, each different pendulum size and shape and color is designed for a different function. So I'll be telling you about that too. But when you pick up your pendulum, you want to look at the size, shape, and color. When I chose my pendulum, at the time my favorite color was black, so I got black, my favorite color. But it also has a few speckles of green. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, there's a green speckle. There's like two. But the speckles of green, I love the forest, so I was like, oh, to me it represents the forest. And I thought the shape was really cool and stiletto-y shaped, and I was really into that. I also liked how at the top, the crystal at the top is like clear, and that reminded me of the moon, and the moon's my favorite, and I thought the length was okay. Anyways, so I bought this, and the weight is nice, and this is fine. When I picked it up, it really called to me. I felt like it was mine, and it drew to me. And you want to feel that too, because if it just feels like, oh, whatever, or feels uncomfortable, then don't buy it, because it's not your pendulum. When you ask it yes or no questions, first you want to ask it, show me yes, show me no, and show me maybe. And then remember those, because for me it's usually yes, no, maybe. So when you first go out to get your pendulum, try testing them out. Say show me yes, show me no, and then you want to ask it, are you the pendulum for me? And then mine said yes at the time. I think it should change though, because my personality changed just a little bit. But anyways, so here, let's read what it has to say for about choosing a pendulum when you go to the store. So, if you are new to pendulum dowsing, the most important criteria is to choose a pendulum that you feel comfortable with. So if you don't feel comfortable with it, just don't buy it. If you don't feel comfortable about the idea of pendulums, then I suggest just not doing it, because you want to be comfortable with it, and you know, stuff like that. Your pendulum amplifies the subtle vibrations that you perceive and manifests them. So basically, you can't usually do it if you're not touching it. Like, if you're not touching it, it's just gonna sit there, because it picks up tiny vibrations that are sent through your nerves in your body, and it amplifies them by swaying. The shorter you hold it, the easier it'll sway, and it's not like it's like using your own brain perception, but because I feel that people already have the knowledge that they know. Like, if they ask a yes or no question, they already know the answer. They just want it to be spelled out right in front of them. So they use a pendulum to do that. So today, if you are a beginner, a medium weight pendulum in metal or stone will do a good job. If the pendulum is too light, it'll pick up too many different energies. And if it's too heavy, the time of reaction may be too long. So you don't want it to be too light or too heavy. Make sure it's like a medium weight and good for your hand. Most pendulums are already made to be that way, but for your energy level, you just gotta test it out first because you don't know how strong your energies are. I haven't been using my pendulum for a really long time, so when I practice it and show you how to use it, I'm sorry if it's really slow, okay? The next type, I'm going to read you off the different types of pendulums and what they're used for. This one, okay, is called Sephiroton. This pendulum has a high sensitivity to vibrations. Its form includes less error margin, used for questions related to health, love, money, or to magnetize objects. I don't know how it helps magnetize objects, but you know, whatever. So for the next kind of pendulum is the one right here. It's called Isis. It's to be used in research on electromagnetic fields or in relation with astrological charts. Okay. And then the next one are the chakra ones, which are these in the middles here. With these 7 stones, they are helpful tool to detect and repair chakra imbalance. Specific stone pendulums are used to help balance the different chakras. So, a different stone and a different color is supposed to resemble each of the 7 chakras, which are each section of the body, like the brain, the heart, the lungs, stuff like that. The next type of pendulum is the spiral one. It's right there. The spiral pendulum is an oracle pendulum for questions concerning your life choices. Oracles are like the higher beings, like angels and stuff, and they can help you, like, learn your way and guide you and stuff. The next one is chambered. Some of them look like this. They're usually like hollow. It contains a hollow chamber into which you can insert crystals or stones to increase a specific energy. You can also take a hair or belonging from someone related to the question. This makes chambered pendulums very powerful. Make sure you ask permission beforehand, aka if you're going to take someone's toenail clipping, tell them before you take their toenail clipping, because that would be really, really weird. Kind of awkward. Oh, I'm just clipping your toenails, whatever, put it in my pocket. Don't do that, please. Okay, the next one, it kind of looks like the Star of David, but like 3D form. It's called Merkaba? I don't know. It's really hard to pronounce, but it's weird. Here, it's like that. Anyways, it's based on sacred geometry. These interrelated triangles. Sorry, I can't English. Interrelated triangular shapes unite the body, the soul, and the spirit. It's good for questions concerning consciousness on a personal, social, or universal level. So, pretty much, you ask this pendulum about yourself, like, just like, am I feeling depressed today because, or something like that, am I gonna have a good or bad day, kind of stuff like that, I guess, stuff related to you and your spirit and your conscious self and whatever. The last one is triangular, and it looks like this. I don't think it's very triangular, personally. It's kind of like weird looking. But anyways, it's a pendulum that picks up vibrations of numbers. It can be used to find lottery numbers for research in numerology. I guess mine could probably be considered triangular, but I'm just gonna say it's beginners because it's what I chose. So, let's say you went to the store and you bought your pendulum. This is my dad's pendulum, so I'm just gonna show you. But, he loves the color green, and he loves, like, outdoors and stuff. So he bought this, this green pendulum. And it's really nice. This chain length is nice. But anyways, what he didn't do is he didn't cleanse his pendulum. I can cleanse it for you later, I guess, but I'm just not gonna do it right now. But, if you want to use anything with magic or stuff concerning, like, higher beings and stuff, you definitely want to cleanse it because you don't want to get evil spirits or anything, like, messing it up. And by the way, I will talk about this later, but you can use the pendulum to communicate with spirits. So check that out in my next video, and I can talk to you about many experiences that I've had using a pendulum to communicate with spirits. That was awesome, so please check it out in the next video. Anyways, so cleansing your pendulum, it's going to explain why you need to cleanse it and how you can cleanse it. So here I go. Pendulums are crystals. Well, they're not always crystals. Sometimes they can be metal or stone, but crystals are usually the best because they absorb energy. Pendulums and crystals can absorb energy from their surroundings. It is important to cleanse and recharge them when you first acquire them or have worked with them for a while. The best and most complete way to get rid of negative energies is to use the 4 elements of nature: earth, water, air, and fire. So I'm going to tell you how you can use them, how you can cleanse with each of the 4, and I can tell you what I did, because you don't have to do it always the same exact way as this says. You can do it your own way. Anyways, for earth, it says you can bury your stone pendulum in its natural element, the earth or sea salt, and let it stand for a while. The salt will absorb and transform the negative energies. So this is a little picture of the pendulum in sea salt. I did that too. I poured a bunch of sea salt into a bowl, and then I let my pendulum pretty much like soak in it for like a good 3 minutes. Water. Put your pendulum in a bowl of crystal energized water. Visualize love flowing and replacing any obstacles, removing old emotional links. I don't think you have to do all of that. Truthfully, what I did is I almost made like holy water, the way that Wiccans make holy water, and I put the pendulum in the water, and then I put my hands over it, and I felt the energies going in between my hands and the pendulum, and then I visualized the energy as like a dark form, like flowing off of the pendulum, and then I visualized it glowing into light, transforming it into cleansed energy so it would be pure. Okay, next is air. Hold your pendulum over some smoldering frankincense resin or smudge to clean up this energy field and purify it. Now, personally, I don't think you have to use frankincense. Frankincense is a very, like, holy one for, like, magic and stuff, but I feel it'd be a lot, and this is what I did as well, it's a lot more personal if you choose your favorite incense scent and you burn that one. My favorite incense scent is dragon's blood. I burned the incense for about 1 minute, because they usually take about 5 minutes to finish, and then as it was burning, I passed the pendulum through it for about 2 minutes straight, and I passed it through it for a while, and I also said some words. I was like, please God, Goddess, cleanse this pendulum for me today. You know, you want to just ask the gods for some help. Okay, last but not least, fire. Put your pendulum in a pyramid and expose it to the sun for a few hours. It'll be energized with the highest vibrations. So this is a pendulum in a pyramid. I don't own a pyramid, and I didn't want to just leave it out in the sun. So if you have like a glass or something, you can put it under the glass cup, like a glass cup, and put it under there, and like the sun will help and keep it intact. But I actually didn't do that. I actually lit a candle and I passed my pendulum through it a few times. If your pendulum starts to melt while you're doing that, it's not crystal, it's plastic. You got ripped off, you want to get a new one. Okay, no plastic pendulums, you want to get crystals, something like that. Sorry that this video is going so long, there's just a lot to talk about. Anyways, your pendulum is like your personal little thing. It needs to be connected to you, your soul, your body. It's literally for you, no one else. Well, I mean, other people could use it, but they won't work as well for you because it is your pendulum. So whenever you have it, you want to keep it connected to you at all times. So try to keep it in your pocket, your pocketbook, your bag, whatever you got. Just make sure it's close to you. So it's like a dog. It's got to get used to your scent. So keep it on you, and you'll grow a connection with it. Well, I also need to start doing 2 more, is thinking of the pendulum not as just an object. You have to think of it as another living being, because I realized over the times and the questions I've asked it that it also has feelings, which is kind of strange, but crystals have a life source, and they can actually miss you, and like if you don't use it for a long time, they get more stubborn, I guess. It's harder for you to use them. You kind of like lose practice. But I asked my pendulum once, did you miss me? Because I haven't used it for a year, and I asked, did you miss me? And it said yes. And then I asked, should I be using you more? And it said yes. So I'm gonna start doing that. Pendulum is a person. Think of it as a pet, a person, a friend, a family, loved one, you know, whatever. It's not just an object. It's there for you. It's not gonna lie to you unless it's like pissed off at you. I don't know. But anyways, that's how it works. And so that's what you did. This is what the pendulum chart says about like what a pendulum is and what it does, and a prayer, because if you're Christian or Catholic or whatever, it's totally fine if you do this. This prayer is actually a Christian prayer for using pendulum. There's actually a Christian and a pagan branch. It's a Christian pagan, and it's when you take old Christian religion and you mix it with magic, basically. So as long as you're doing white magic and you're staying within like the confines of your religion and the confines of magic, you're totally fine. But anyways, the pendulum says like what a pendulum dowsing is and that. So pendulum dowsing is a way to connect to your higher self and seek answers to your questions. Anybody can learn how to use a pendulum. It is just an extension of yourself. So think of it like that. Okay, so clear your mind of concerns and worries. Take a minute to invite your guides and angels. Light and love are the best shields against unwanted entities. Repeat this prayer 3 times, and I quote, "May I have a heart as pure as a crystal, an intellect as bright as the sun, a soul as vast as the universe, a spirit as powerful as God, and united as God." Oh, and united to God, not as God, to God. Okay. So, how you use it, you take the pendulum in between your index finger and your thumb, so you pretty much hold it like this. Like that. I like to do this, and the shorter your chain or string is, the easier it is to flow and move. So like hold it like this, like the ball is right over here, and yep, that's how you hold it. Keep your elbow on the table and relax, because you don't want like your arm like shaking all wobbly if you don't have a lot of arm strength. So definitely like keep it, if you're gonna be sitting like me where there isn't a table, put it like on your like hip or something and just rest it. And you want to keep your hand, because if you don't have any charts or anything to put, or a mat to put under it, you just want to use your hands and put it like at a safe distance, so it can like I feel like this is more easier because the energy is flowing from here up and all the way up, and I feel like it's like creating one whole cycle of energy, and I think that's really good. So it says to double check your pendulum signal with some questions. Ask your pendulum to say yes and then no, and then observe the movement it will make. So people say, oh, the pendulum, it has to go this way for yes and this way for no. No, that's not true at all. It's different for every single person. The most basic ones are these, but you can use them, and usually when I do it, it's like yes, and then it's like no, and then it's like maybe. So you want to do it and check with it each time. At the end of this video, I'm actually going to cut this video short, and I'm not going to use my pendulum in this video. I'm going to make a video where I do use the pendulum, which will be right after this one, and I'll upload it literally immediately after. So we'll just take a second, okay? Okay, and this is instructions. If you actually have a pendulum mat, I'll read these instructions so you know how to use it. It is easy to get used to working with a pendulum mat. It offers the simple yes or no answers, as well as other useful options such as maybe, rephrase, try again, or will not answer. Sometimes we are not ready to receive information because we would not be able to cope with it, or one of the questions needed to be reformulated. For example, you may ask, should I do it now? The pendulum may signal to rephrase access, but if you ask, should I do it before lunch, you may get a yes or no signal. So, here's a pendulum on a pendulum mat, and it pretty much, you start out in the middle and you hold it in the index finger, rest your hand, you know, and then you ask it a question, it'll sway to the right ones. Because I feel like with the mat, the pendulum, and the mat are both have like the interchanging energies, so it could go to the correct ones. Okay, on the back, it's more about questioning your pendulum. These are also two other mats. This is a chakra mat, a zodiac chart, and a numerological, whatever. Yeah, that one. Okay, so this is a list of all the information you can look at and more. So I'll read them all off to you, and then you can cut this video. No, keep watching. It's okay. It'll teach you how to use each of these and what they are used for. Okay, so some information that you can look for. You can look for mineral deficiencies, cause of allergic reactions, energy balancing and health problem sources, best date to schedule a trip, prospection for water or lost objects, etc., determining what others need for you, selecting priorities, etc. So there's like a bunch more. You can ask just like random yes or no questions, like, is my underwear blue? It's not. It's okay. But anyways, you can ask it stuff like that. Okay, so to help formulate your question, write it down on a piece of paper. If you have an emotional involvement in the answer, you can ask someone who has no interest in the outcome to ask the pendulum for you. So if you are like in your heart and soul, you're like, you want to know if your boyfriend's going to marry you. So you want to ask the pendulum, is my boyfriend going to marry me? But you, in your heart, you really wanted to say yes. So it might corrupt the answer to say yes. So you want to ask someone else to do it for you. Like, let's say my friend Ebony. I don't think she'd give a shit if we got married or not. So if I asked her to do it, it could come out no or yes, depending on what the pendulum thinks the answer is. It's not always right, but yeah, it usually is. Like 95% of the time, the pendulum is correct, and the other like 5% is usually like sort of correct, but not quite. With time and practice, you will develop your intuition. Soon your pendulum will become more powerful tool for your decision making and self-awareness. So over time, the pendulum is kind of a tool to make your like self-awareness and perception a lot stronger. So over time, you might not even be able to, well, you'll be able to use a pendulum and it'll be able to like work faster, but you may not need it anymore because you can usually figure out things for yourself. Okay, now working with the charts. To help you focus on one chart at a time, hide the charts you are not using with a piece of opaque paper. The chakra chart, this one, can tell you about your physical or emotional imbalance, which energy center you should start working with first, which color is beneficial for you, etc. Each chakra is related to a part of the body, an organ, a strength, a weakness, a state of consciousness, etc. So that's what they say about this chakra one. Now for the symbolism of the astrology chart is endless. It can represent a different phase of life, or for instance, Aries is the infant, Taurus is the preschooler, Gemini as the elementary schooler, and so on. It can also represent a time in the year starting with Aries, representing spring, or Leo, representing summer. It can give you information on recommended relationships, and the symbolism of the astrological houses can inform you on the different areas of your life. Gemini, communications, Capricorn, social status, Libra, partnership, etc. And this is that one, astrological, zodiac, whatever. Okay, and now last but not least, the number chart. Can you give you your lucky number, dates, expected temperatures, etc. It can even recommend a quantity of product to buy. So that's this one. I'm guessing you can make it bigger if you were going to make one on your own. But yep, that's pretty much all on the pendulums today. So if you liked this video and you want to buy your own pendulum or try it out on your own, well, go right ahead, be my guest. Have a great time. Make sure that your pendulum, you're comfortable with it and you enjoy it. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video when I will be actually using the pendulum to, show you how it works. And, yeah. blessed be, and have a great day.